It's a couple months ago now. We got the pleasure of meeting Spokane's Olympian shooter, Amanda Furrer, and she immediately became a show favorite. And we haven't had a chance to talk to her since she got back from the Olympics in London, and she joins us now on Patchin, Lukens, and Osso. Amanda, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, welcome back to reality, I suppose. Are you back at school?
I am. I'm back at Ohio State.
Well,
Finally.
was it a boring couple of months for you, or what? I mean, it didn't seem like you were
Oh my
up to
gosh,
anything.
not at all. No, it's crazy. Oh my goodness. I mean, literally from the time I made the team till even now, like my life's just completely crazy. My schedule's filled with everything possible, from just normal school stuff to interviews to, just taking care of normal daily activities I haven't been used to for a while now.
Before we get into all of the whirlwind stuff, were you happy with what you were able to do at the Olympics?
I was, and I've got that question a lot because I tied for 12th, and in America we focus a lot on medaling, and in my sport, 10 people can be separated by 1 point. So, me finishing 12th, I was only, I think I was only a couple points out of the final, maybe 1 point out of the final, and there was a bunch of us that were right around there. So I actually did perform really well despite what the results were. And there's nothing I could have changed. I mean, I trained for months ahead of time, took the time off school, moved out to the Olympic Training Center and trained every single day and went to training camps all over the country and all over the world and, trained for the conditions. So really, I have no regrets. I did everything that I could have done to perform well.
Amanda, a lot of people on our show have been blaming Osso for the results.
That's what I was going to. That was I was going to say because if people don't know, when you were on our show before, Keith somehow convinced you to name your rifle Osso, and
that's a favorite now. Everybody calls it Osso, including my dad.
You can't see me right now, but I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating right now.
I really wish I could see that, but yeah, my gun was actually doing. My gun's doing awesome. I'm actually thinking about getting a new one for the next Olympics, so I might have to put Osso on the back burner, but he's definitely a crowd favorite.
Well, I do what I can. Now, Amanda, okay, you when you went over to London, you didn't get eased into things, okay? You're one of the people that modeled the thing for Ralph Lauren. You were on the Today Show. You're standing right behind the flag in the opening ceremonies, okay? So when you get done with the opening ceremonies, and then, of course, we didn't see it until much, much later. And so when that happened, I mean, what was your phone like when you got back? I mean, I guess I assume that your phone was working okay over there, but what was your phone like when it hit over here that you're all over the opening ceremonies?
Oh my gosh. The Today Show and the opening ceremonies both. It was like my phone was out of control. My Twitter, my texts, like Facebook, everything. And people were sending me pictures of, their TVs of what they saw me in the opening ceremonies. And I didn't even realize, that I had been shown right away up there. I knew that I was in the front row, but we were all kind of running around. So I didn't know that I had been shown, right off the bat, right in the front behind the flag bearer. So when that happened and people were sending me pictures, I thought it was cool too because I hadn't seen it yet.
How did you wind up in the front row? Was there a fight? I mean, did you have to push Phelps and LeBron out of the way to get in there?
No, actually, it wasn't necessarily a brawl. It was kind of once we had started marching, everybody just kind of held their spots, and all of us in the front row, we were all linked arms. I had my arm on one of my teammates and the other one on one of the track guys, and we were all right up there, and we held our own. So we ended up getting to stick up front, and it was so neat being up there and marching in first, right at the front of the group of the United States athletes. So cool.
Well, when I watched that part of the opening ceremonies, I kept turning back and I'd see alphabetically where we were at, and I said, I got to watch USA. I want to see if I can see Amanda Furrer. And so it comes out, and here comes USA. Okay, let me see. Oh, well, she's right there. I mean, it was right dead center, and I'm sure that you've seen it since you've been back, haven't you?
I haven't, actually.
Really?
Just a picture.
Wow. Well,
I need to watch because, honestly, we didn't even get to see any of opening ceremonies besides the last bit. So I do kind of want to go back and watch and see the whole show put together. Did you get to see closing ceremonies, though? I was in there, too.
No, once the games are done, the Olympics are dead to me. So I don't do closing ceremonies. I was lucky enough to. If you weren't going to be there, I wasn't even watching the opening ceremonies, to be honest with you. So.
Oh wow!
I just like to watch the events.
I had a good shot in closing ceremonies. I was blowing the camera, kissing everything. So you missed out.
Of course you were. Now, not only did you're front and center in the opening ceremonies, you're on the Today Show. You've made, and I'm sure you're aware of this, countless lists of hottest athletes in the Olympics, which has to be kind of bizarre and cool all at the same time. Your photo where you recreated the Beatles album goes viral. I mean, you kind of took over the Olympics over there.
I mean, it's kind of funny just because I am a shooter and we don't usually get too much attention. So to have TMZ posting pictures of me, walking Abbey Road and to be listed with the summer goddesses of the Olympics, that's a whole new thing for me. But I can only hope that it keeps going from here. Now that I have my name out there and stuff, I do want to go to the next Olympics, so hopefully it just brings some more opportunities.
I want to know how that Abbey Road thing happened because, I mean, come on, Amanda. Everybody who goes there poses for a picture walking across Abbey Road. I mean, I would do the same thing. Everybody does that. So how does yours end up on TMZ?
They contacted me for it. They
took you there.
That, yes, they requested that I went over there and that they could please get a shot of me walking across there that I wouldn't post out to anybody else. It had to be, TMZ was the first and had the only access to the photo.
Rick, you don't look as good as in high heels going across Abbey
absolutely.
Road.
I was not complaining in any way.
Amanda, this is something that I always ask people who go to the Olympics because it can be, even for an Olympian, a surreal experience. Who was the coolest person you met while being an Olympian?
Ooh. That's a tough question. When we were there, it really was like all of us were on the same level. I did get to hang out with some of the basketball guys over there, like LeBron and Chris Paul and them. But so that was kind of cool, just because they're so famous back here. But I mean, they're just like the rest of us. They're really humble and really nice and really funny guys. So it didn't seem as weird as I thought it would.
Is there a camaraderie between the U.S. Olympians? I mean, do you go to other events where there are people hanging out together that maybe you wouldn't have thought would be hanging out just because you and the rest were U.S. Olympians?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody hung out together. It was, every sport you can imagine was friends with somebody else in a different sport. And by the end of the games, there were sports mixed up at the different dining tables and stuff, and everybody was hanging out. Everybody became, friends on Facebook or following each other on Twitter, and you would see all kinds of athletes at all the different events. I mean, athletes were just like groveling over any tickets we could get to any other event. So, even I went and saw basketball and wrestling. I tried to go to other ones, but the tickets were sold out just because there were so many people trying to go see everything. But, you would just hear about everybody and just the cheers and everything from the support of just other athletes.
What'd you do from the time your event was over until the closing ceremonies?
I just hung out. I tried to go to other events. The shooting went on through August 6th, so I went and supported my teammates for those few days. And then after that, me and my teammates would go to the different sponsor houses where they would have, like beverages, or they would have just things to go look at, things to do, check out their merchandise or whatever. So we would go around to those houses and we would go see different sites or, whatever, go see other events, whatever we could get tickets to. But really, it didn't seem like it did that much after I competed, but I was so busy the whole time. Because it takes so long to get everywhere there. So we'd plan out like 2 to 3 things to do a day, and, that was it.
Amanda, when you got back, I'm sure you thought things were going to slow down at least a little bit. And then you get the phone call, you get to raise the 12th band flag at the Seahawk game. How cool was that?
I didn't realize that was such a big deal because I've never been to a Seahawks game before. So, on the way there, I was asking my mom, I was like, what's the 12th man flag? She's like, Amanda, don't you know? And so I had to do the research. I've never been to a Seahawks game. So
listen, Amanda,
once I finally got there, once I finally got there and knew what it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. I mean,
10 times
along with the
bigger.
Olympics.
10 times bigger than dotting the I at Ohio State.
That's right.
Oh.
It's way bigger. They asked you
They know that now.
seriously, if they ask you to come out wearing your gold medal and dot the I at Ohio State, you say, no, I already raised the 12th man flag. I ain't doing that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not.
I didn't realize, but it was cool to be there with my other Washington teammates. Washington teammates is in the other Olympians from other sports.
Right.
But because we all knew each other, so it was cool to get to hang out with them and get to do that. I mean, we had so much fun up there, waving our towels and cheering on the Seahawks. So it was really cool.
Olympian Amanda Furrer joining us on the program. Amanda, can you go back to being anonymous anymore?
I try a little bit. It's funny, nobody really approaches me in person, but I get a lot of stuff going on over Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing, and a lot of stares more than anything, like people that they recognize me but don't really say anything. It's one of those kind of things. But
well,
as soon as they find out that I am the Olympian, they're like, "Can we get a picture? Can we get an autograph or something?" So it's kind of fun.
You're a tough celebrity to approach because, you're a celebrity now, but you shoot a gun. I mean, that's a tough person to just approach out of nowhere.
Yeah, you can see now that I'm actually back. Last time I came back from Washington, I brought my AR-15 back with me. So not only do I have my competition guns now, but I have my little pistol. I have my AR-15. I'm fully strapped.
have you been back to class yet? Have class started at Ohio State yet?
Well, I was supposed to, but now that I've been back, I've had all these other things that come up, like going to Seattle, and next week we're going to Washington, D.C. So, I mean, literally I'm making a few days a week of class, and then I have to go do other things. But I'm keeping up. I'm trying really hard to keep up with all my schoolwork.
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's good. But how are your classmates treating you?
Oh, no, they're fine. I mean, they're pretty quiet. I mean, I don't know. We all just go to class to go to class, and I literally get in there and get out. And I don't know that they even know if I'm an Olympian or not. But no, it's been fine being back. Just occasional people that recognize me and some staff and that kind of thing. But it's really not that bad.
Are you going to the White House? Did you say you were going to Washington, D.C.?
Yep, next weekend we're going to go check out the White House, meet the president, that whole thing.
Okay, yeah, just another.
You've already raised the
day.
12-man flag. That's way cooler. Amanda, rumor has it you may or may not have gotten an Olympic tattoo. Now, do you show that? Are you walking around school going, "Hey, I'm an Olympian," and you just kind of show your tattoo?
I don't even have to because it's on my wrist. So anytime I reach my hand out, they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you an Olympian?" I'm like, well, yeah, no, I can't hide it at all, right? But it was kind of funny because I hadn't told my parents yet. And we were at the Seahawks game, and of course, I was wearing a long sleeve shirt all day, but of course, they gave us a jersey to wear. So I'm wearing a jersey and hanging out, and probably halfway through the night, my dad's like, "What's on your wrist?" And I was like, oh, this? Showed it to him, and he stared at me for a minute, and he's like, "That's really cool. I actually really like that." And that was the first time I've ever heard my parents say anything good about tattoos. So I was like,
Nice.
I was so relieved. I was like, oh, finally I don't have to wear jackets around in this 90-degree weather.
Wait till you roll up your sleeve and he realizes you got them all the way down your arm. I mean, we won't tell him that you did that, but he'll find out on his own.
You're going to
You're going to get me in trouble over the radio now. They're going to be calling me.
Yeah, I was going to say, as soon as they're already calling her phone. She's looking at her phone now going, oh,
it's
my
not
dad's
true.
happening as we speak.
Yeah. Well, Amanda, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and joining us. Welcome back. We look forward to following you the next couple years. And as you look to qualify now to Rio, I'm sure you haven't thought about that at all, have you?
I'm already planning for it, actually.
Yeah, I figured. Well, we can't wait to see how that develops and how you continue to go on TMZ and all that other stuff. Maybe we'll see you all over the place. Maybe you'll dot the I, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll have to keep up.
Yeah, I got a request, and I don't know when we can do this, but the next time you're back, would you take us out shooting?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll bring all my guns.
Okay. So when Amanda comes back in, we'll take her camera and we'll put it on the web.
Maybe get a little wager on that.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Ossos can be reunited at once.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
kind of a home field advantage
Exactly.
right there.
That'll be cool. So we look forward to that, and thanks so much, and continued success, and we'll visit with you soon.
Oh, thank you.
All right. That is Amanda Furrer, Olympian. And that interview, if you missed any of it or want to hear it again, will be on our website shortly.
One of my favorites, honestly. Just awesome. Can't wait to see where